want to thank you for checking out another podcast of We Ain't Scared Talk, where we ain't scared. My name is A1, and let me say this. This is obviously to those who don't know, and it was a surprise to myself. I had so many technical difficulties today getting this show recorded. So and whenever that starts to happen, it really is a reminder to me that whatever is going to happen is meant to be, and nothing is going to stop it. So for those who are working in their respective fields, you're an entrepreneur, you have passion for whatever talent or gifts that you have, don't allow sudden surprises or things that kind of come out of left field stop you from your mission. Stay on point. All right, so back to the show. So thanks to everyone that listens and supports this podcast. I appreciate you. You take time out of your busy Saturdays or maybe days during the week to listen, and I appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. And thanks to everyone that has purchased their We Ain't Scared Talk mug. I've noticed an uptick, a surge in the purchases. So that's good. Now, these mugs are so beautiful that your hot drinks are going to warm you even better because you have it. And they won't melt under the pressure. So, and that's just like black folks, right? They're strong, resilient, and indestructible. All right, so today's podcast, man. Let me tell you, when I say, and I've said this a couple of times, but man, I've been chomping at the bit, excited to get this particular podcast off my chest. And, for obvious reasons, the climate of America today with the idiot president and what he is stoking in this country has helped to generate a lot of these ideas in terms of thought. So, and then, quite honestly, I think this is the sort of an underlying theme for all of the podcasts that I think I've ever done. And in terms of, again, the racial climate in America with 3Ks. So without any delay or further delay, today's topic is, why do white people get defensive about black anger? Why do white people get defensive about black anger? So strap on your seatbelts. Let's first start with the fact that white people have a lot of nerve, okay? And I mean a lot of nerve to be angry at anybody about anything at all, since their history throughout the world has been one of invaders, thieves on every continent on the planet. There is not one country, okay, not one shred of land, island territory on Earth that has not been touched by European or even American brutality with a white male face leading the charge. And that is a fact. Now, white people historically have brutalized indigenous people, which were weak in terms of their ability to respond militarily, and I'm certain that had everything to do with it. But their resources, including their land, were plundered, and this was with impunity, okay? And then those same white faces look surprised when those indigenous or enslaved people try to fight back or resist the unwelcome presence of those white faces. And I think there's this mentality by these white invaders, colonizers, as we refer to them, Black Panther. How could these savages not welcome our disease? our rape, our pillaging, and our enslavement of them with just open arms and warm hearts. Don't they know that we work hard at being murderers and thieves? The audacity, the temerity, right? So it's this mentality that, as we all know, causes the outrage among black people specifically. There's no secret, cause and effect. That's a very simple scientific theory, right? You cause, there's a cause and an effect. If you put fire to something, guess what? It's gonna burn, right? Cause and effect. So again, it's as if white people, but specifically, and I don't run from this, I call it what it is, specifically white men, believe that they are sent by God to destroy anything that does not look like them. Now, there are reasons for this, but King Leopold II, to me, worse than Hitler, okay, worse than America, in the sense of he has been romanticized with statues in Europe, Belgium in particular. You go all over Belgium in Europe, and you will see statues of this white colonizer. Okay? He attempted to exterminate Africans by killing at least 15 to 20 million of them, for no other reason than because he had the weapons, the money, and the will, the murderous will to do it. Now, I've said this before on other podcasts, that in my opinion, and I don't run from this, and I'm not going to ever back down from this, I do believe that white men are genetically predisposed for violence. And I stand on that. And not only just violence, but hate. And then they try to hide behind a kind, genteel smile, all the while plotting your very death and destruction. It's amazing to me that those same white men throughout history have never looked at their behavior one time, not a single time, and thought to themselves, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't take something that doesn't belong to me. You know, they're very good and very quick at wanting you to follow the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them to do unto you. Right? Very quick. White Christians, evangelicals, very quick to quote all these things. Don't do harm and, love it. See, but that's a one-way street for them. See, they can terrorize an entire globe, and then they go to sleep, no problem. That's a mental condition. That is a sociopath, one that can function normally, and normal, I use that loosely, and at the same time engage in murderous and brutalistic behavior. Think about that. I mean, nothing ever comes to mind. Maybe I shouldn't rape women, or maybe I shouldn't murder innocent people for the sake of murder. Just because I don't understand that indigenous or foreign tribe or culture. You're not supposed to know that tribe or culture. It ain't you. You ain't from there. You're an invader, a stranger. And you need to just stay away. Mind your business. And, a quick sidebar. CNN recently stated or posted a graphic, and it said that 73% of the violence in America, with 3 Ks, is by home or from or as a result of homegrown terrorists, which are what? Usually white males. Not black people, white males. This is an irrefutable fact. And I'm not going to not continue to force and push that in everyone's face. 73%. That is insane. So after 400 years and counting of this behavior, the question then becomes, how does the white man's or white male behavior affect those that it destroys? In short, it infuriates us. As a black man, I am infuriated. And even with irrefutable proof of their brutalistic behavior, irrefutable, they have the nerve to get defensive about black anger. And I don't care if you pulled the trigger, white man, or another white man did not pull the trigger. Look, the same way they try to clump and lump all black men into the same group. You are lazy or angry, or you're prison bound, all the negative stereotypes. Now what I'm doing, I'm going to give you what you give me. And see, that's what needs to change. I'm going to give you what you give me. You give me hate, I'm going to give it right back. And I know a lot of Christians listen, well, no, you got to love. No, F that. Ain't no love. You can't love hate out of somebody. You can smack it out of them. You meet force with force. Somebody attacking you is like, well, let's pray. No, fuck that. We gonna fight. And if we both go together, we both just go together. But you ain't gonna disrespect me and attack me and me not attack you back. That's stupid. All right, black anger has to be one of the most manipulated images in the world. The media, police, politicians, they use these false narratives of justifiable, mind you, black anger for subversive means. And here's an example. And this is a true example. After Mike Brown Ferguson, was murdered by that asshole Darren Wilson, and the DA refused to file charges against that racist white cop, the black community justifiably was outraged and they rioted and tore shit up, which is completely normal and understandable. That is a normal reaction to injustice that has plagued the black community since we arrived on the shores of this cursed land called America with 3Ks. Black folks don't go looking for a cop to murder us. It's the other way around. And when we riot and fight for our lives, what does the white media say? What do they say? They're behaving like what? Animals, thugs, and they're out of control. You goddamn right we're raging. Because the cops are out of control. You know, it's like our rage, they think our rage comes from nowhere. Like we just wake up and we're just mad and we're just angry for no reason. Black people are the most peaceful people on the planet. We never invaded a country, ever. Nowhere. And they view our anger as delusional, like we're making up our oppression. That's the insulting part. After 400 years, you have white people in America that think our oppression or anger about our oppression somehow is made up. The world knows goddamn good and well that every police murder is not a result of black people resisting or trying to get ourselves killed. You know that. Stop playing dumb. Cops are doing their best to hunt us. Whenever you see or hear, and this goes to Africa, a safari where a man is crushed by an elephant after trying to hunt it, or eaten by lions trying to hunt, those are white men. Those are white people. Black people don't do that. Black people are trying to protect the animals. It's always white men that want to hunt and to kill and to exterminate things just because they can. And they have no remorse. And then again, America wants to insult our intelligence as black people by telling us it's our fault that we got murdered and that we should have followed the commands of the officer, which we always do, but somehow still end up dead. And when we get angry, white folks look shocked, amazed, surprised, and get defensive. As if to say, well, why are they so hostile and mad? The justice system is just there to protect everyone. I mean, there has to be a justifiable reason that they shot this unarmed black man 150 times with his hands up in front of his wife and small children. You know, there had to be a justifiable reason they beat him to death on live TV while he was handcuffed and being choked by 10 police officers while he was screaming, "I can't breathe." Right? They're just so angry. And I've had somebody say that to me recently. You're so angry. Motherfucker, right. You goddamn right I'm angry. You're killing us for no reason. It's this ignorance of thought that further enrages the black community and forces us to despise even the thought of having a conversation with a white person. But I'm going to keep it real. White men. And when they get into conversations with me, are summarily handed their ass because they have no clue. And they go to the typical responses. And when I serve them a healthy dose of, what the hell are you talking about? You don't know about blah, 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 yah, yah, yah. Then all of a sudden they want to exit the conversation to avoid a further ass whooping verbally. Now, here's another tactic that causes black anger because it's obviously, and this is going back to police brutality because this is the bane of the inner city black existence. Police learn this trick, okay, at the police academy. And this is to help justify the police brutality. So when they yell out, "Stop resisting, stop resisting." Matter of fact, sometimes they yell that out before they even get out of the car. What is this? So fast forward, they have this black man or black person or black child on their face with their knee firmly planted on their spine or head while while these black people are face down on the concrete. You know, as long as that cop can go on record of saying, stop resisting, because they know they're wearing these body cameras and they're trying to plant a defense on camera. That's all that's about. And I know they're telling them this. Look, as long as you say this and we can hear it, then we got you. You know, you're good. Okay, that's why they also yell out, "Gun, gun," so they can shoot. Okay, but then they can beat you with impunity and charge you with this fake, phony ass felony. And again, then white folks get defensive and say, well, obviously, the black man was resisting. Well, why would the cops keep yelling, stop resisting? They have this blind faith that white people can't lie. White people don't think white people lie. That's what's funny to me. Black people, they're liars. White people don't believe that white people can lie. That is a mental disorder. It's as if they have no concept that after all the historical evidence that shows that everything that white America has obtained was because of lying. And a recent example, Iraq, in the last 10 years, 15 years, weapons of mass destruction. George Bush Jr., whatever, he went on and he pleaded with the Congress, where Saddam Hussein has got weapons of mass destruction. We've got to stop him. He ain't have nothing. They pulled that man out of a bunker under the ground, a hole in the ground. The Tuskegee experiment on black men. They were studying the progression of syphilis, untreated syphilis, to see how it kills the person. But they lied to these black men by telling them that they were giving them treatment for syphilis, but they were actually not doing that. It was a lie. Smallpox, laced blankets with the Native Americans. The American military did this. Oh, here's a nice warm blanket laced with a disease that's going to kill you. As if, and they made it seem like they were trying to help, but of course, that was a lie. And why? Because they just wanted to kill them off. And let's go back to America's original sin, that of slavery, and the promise of reparations that has still not happened. They said they'd do it, and then they didn't. So yeah, that's lying, which is a disease that has infected them so deeply that they honestly think it's normal. And 45 is just the poster child for lies. He lies so much, even his lies tell lies. And then those lies give birth to more lies. And there's a section, obviously, of this country that believes and enjoys it. And when black people get angry, again, justifiably, and call these white men out on their bullshit, what is the typical reaction? Defensiveness, deflection. Well, yeah, but. It's always that. Well, yeah, but. It's like that old analogy where someone throws stones and then hides their hands. It's dangerous and deadly. And again, black people have every right to be pissed the fuck off about everything in this country because we built this bitch. All of it. From the root, from the rooter to the tutor. We built this bitch. The other component to this conversation that is insulting and infuriating is when white people tell black people the following. Oh, you need to calm down. Why are you so angry? You seem so upset all the time. Or they want to hit you with, anger doesn't change or solve anything. Or they label us the angry black man or angry black woman. And this is when black people react to aggression with aggression. Then somehow we're labeled as the problem. How backwards is that? You break into my house, I fight and kick your ass out, then I'm labeled as the one that caused you to break into my house. And the ass whooping that you rightfully received puts me in jail while you walk away without any consequence. Fuck out of here. Miss me with that. White defensiveness is the weakest form of lack of accountability. They know they're wrong, and they play dumb to avoid making things right. It's passive aggressive, and the only way to deal with it is to continue getting in the face of it. Whenever it shows up, there can be zero tolerance on even an iota of giving in. You can't give an inch. Black people have got to continue to meet hostile energy with hostile energy. It's like dealing with a bully. If you don't punch that motherfucker in the face when they step out of line with you, you minding your own business. That's the thing. This is what bullies do. They try to pick on people that they think are weak, but they keep bothering you and they keep pushing you because they think you won't do anything. Not today, partner. White defensiveness is also destructive to white people because they're perpetuating a way of thinking that isn't real. And the emotions behind it lead to destructive behavior. I've always asked the question, what the hell are white people mad at? What are they mad about? Like, for real, what are they upset and mad at? They invade and destroy countries, most everyone on the planet, and then they act like somehow they did it because somebody did something to them. Well, like, really, what's the motivation? You know, America obviously, for whatever reason, hates black people, even though they went to Africa and stole and took people. And I honestly don't even know why. Black people have no systemic or political power of any kind. You look at Congress, white faces. You look at corporate America, CEOs, presidents, white faces. Okay? And most every law created negatively impacts us. We're the ones that should be running around with tiki torches and pitchforks, machetes, machine guns, looking for the next white face to kill. I mean, and my question is, where does America want black people to go? You take away jobs, destroy families, we have limited opportunities, you don't want us in your neighborhoods or schools or boardrooms, the banks won't lend us money, you throw us in jail disproportionately, you disrespect us every chance you can. What have we done to deserve the treatment? If anything, again, it's black people that should be waking up every day with an axe to grind, with every white person we see. And as I posted on social media, just because black people are resilient, that does not mean America has the right to abuse us. This abusive relationship, and that's what it is between black men and white men. It is abusive. Now, I know it's black people, but this show's about black men. And the confrontation or the power between white males and black males is all this is about. It has spiraled so far out of control that I honestly believe that most Americans believe that if they don't see black people, but specifically black men, because we are the strongest, being abused or murdered, that somehow something isn't right. That, again, this is a sickness, a mental illness that has to stop. And again, the main way that we can fight it as black people, but black men, is getting in the face of the abuse and fighting back, meeting force with force. America is the worst country on the planet because it never thinks it does anything wrong. All the while trying to chastise other countries for their acts of inhumanity towards their citizens. It's amazing. America can be so perceptive. You shouldn't kill your own citizens. You shouldn't gash your own citizens. You shouldn't engage in genocide. You shouldn't create laws that oppress. America is so clear on human rights violations when it's a third world country and can't do the same damn thing at home. Why? Because they're making money off of it and because they're animals. The white power structure is full of animals. Black anger is justifiable and black anger is healthy. And in my opinion, white defensiveness is the mental illness that can only be cured by black people calling out this irrational behavior whenever and wherever it appears. And for those white people listening that are getting defensive or that are saying to themselves, well, that's not me, chances are it is you. Because this is a socially engineered mentality that has seeped into the psyche of everyone. All non-black people in America, even people who, before they even get to America, are socially engineered into this hateful mentality. And it has to change. And the only way, again, we can't control the media, we can't control the politicians and what they do, but I can control when you in my face. I can control when I'm around people that are talking reckless, and I'm waiting. You come my direction. And trust me, whatever you saying to me, I'm going to address it. And if you feel like you want to try to get physical or any other thing or any kind of, look, if you attack my persons, then whatever you give me is what I'm going to give you, period. Because that's the only way to teach a bully that they're messing with the wrong person. That's the only way. Well, I'm certain you have your own thoughts. And again, that's what this show is about. So keep the conversation going. It's the only way to make real change. I know this stuff is difficult, but guess what? We didn't do this to ourselves. Black people didn't put ourselves in chains. We didn't murder ourselves with police guns. We didn't throw ourselves in prison for over 250 years of murderous activity by white America. Black people didn't do this to ourselves. That was done by a white male face or white face. So, I want to thank you for checking out another podcast of We Ain't Scared Talk. My name is A1, and you got some good food for thought. Listen again. Tell a friend. We ain't scared.